Good day, Total Battle World. How are you? Good to see you again. Well, I can't see you, but it's good to have you back in the channel again. Hopefully you'll watch this video and learn some more. So today I'm going to do a video about heroes. There are many heroes you can choose from that do different things, are specialized in certain areas. And at certain points in the game, you will want to consider these over all of the other ones. A good starting point would be, well, let's just work from bottom to top, just for the sake of it. Now, there are four here that I don't use, but I have used in the past on previous accounts. And the first one of those that I'm going to talk about is this guy here, Nectarius. A reason to use this fellow, to be honest with you, the point that you're going to make the most use out of him will be early on in the game when you are just growing. The reason I say that is he helps you produce sacred potions. He will increase your production speed of sacred potions, but he will also increase the capacity of sacred potions that you can have in your city. Now, there's two ways of looking at this. Honestly, I would actually discount him as a hero. The reason I would discount him is down to the way you might play the game. Without kind of touching on captains too much, I'm just going to revert back to saying one thing that I will always follow through on, and the importance of this captain in the game. Despite what other people have suggested or said to me over the years, I will stand by one captain, and one captain solely being such an important, integral part of the game. And that is this guy here, Captain Carter. A strong, high-leveled captain, as many stars as you can get him, is going to be the making of you in the game from two perspectives. One is his ability to crypt and your ability to then create excellent armor or gear to be able to put on all your heroes and captains throughout the game. That's the first one, hands down. The second one is the higher level he is and the better he is at crypting, you will then be able to do a higher level crypt. And as I showed in a previous video about him, crypting is going to bring you silver. And silver is one of the major commodities that you need in this game at a low level. So the smaller you are, you're not going to be worrying about gold or sacred potions, to be honest. You will need silver. You need silver to build troops. You'll need silver as clan, for clan participation. Most clans will expect silver for weekly donations, which basically helps their clan grow, and it goes directly to the university. You'll caravan it there. But he is such an integral and important part of this game, and I see day in, day out, I see players up as high as levels 70 and 80 million. It just beggars belief. I see players up as far as 70 and 80 million running to a level 20 crypt using 3 captains, and none of them are Carter. Why would you honestly waste your time? More to the point, why would you waste your tar? This guy gives you tar capacity bonuses. He gives you crypt exploration efficiency, which means if you run with another captain, you are not going to get the enchantments, spells, gems, etc., etc. He is the guy to use for crypt exploration. There is no two ways about it. That said, let's go back to the heroes. So, as I was talking about Nectarius, he does help, okay? He does give sacred potions, and he does increase your maximum sacred potion capacity. But I think you can skip him over, to be quite honest, because as far as I'm concerned, there are better captains in the game that will help you get stronger and grow faster. Okay, so that's my opinion on Nectarius. And that's why I haven't used him and haven't brought him into the game on my current account. The next guy is this fella here, Rai Zhang. Basically, he is good for one thing and one thing only, and that is that he speeds up your troops, hero, and all your captains. Okay, so if you, let's just say, if for some strange reason you were on a kingdom that had a lot of other players, or a massive clan, or a couple of massive clans, and they were constantly stealing crypts and citadels, not even giving you a chance to get to them. If you used this particular hero and you used some Swift Wayfarer gear or just normal gear on him, but used the speed up gems that you can use or a speed up enchantment, you could make him that he's very fast, and he will obviously help you to crypt faster. He will help you to attack citadels faster, attack monsters faster, but that's about it. So again, for me, he is not worth using. I can't honestly see a time at any stage in your game that you're ever going to want to use this particular hero. Don't waste your time. Save your 1 million for something more interesting. So that's 2 out of the equation. The third one I'm going to skip this guy for a second. His name is hard to pronounce, as are some of them in this game. I'm going to go on to Talencia. Talencia is one I have used in the past, and I have seen other players use her. What she does is she gives you gifts every 20 hours. Now, I can see a point of using her. However, given the way the developers have weighted this game, I have yet to see somebody who gets something good from Talencia over a period of time. The gifts that she gives, you can actually click and see what she's going to get at certain levels. So you can see here, at my level, if I was to switch to her, they make it shiny and new. I wish they'd do this in reverse, actually, and show you what crap you're likely to get at the top and put the mercs at the bottom. Just to be quite honest with you, I've listened to people tell me the gifts that they get from Talencia, and 99.9% of the time, it's this row here: food, stone, iron, or wood. So, in my opinion, as much and all as this might seem like a great idea, and yeah, sure, maybe once 20-hour period in 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, maybe you'll get some speed ups. Wow. Some a portal. Wow. 140 mercs. I sincerely doubt it. Hey, by all means, leave comments down in the section. I'm sure some of you have used Talencia, and I'm sure some of you will jump on and tell me, yeah, I got mercs from her a couple of times in a year, maybe. Really, I honestly don't see the point in using her. For, again, that's all she does. She is a one-trick pony. She will only give you one of these gifts every 20 hours. I honestly think you have better ways of getting, for example, if she gave you 1.5 million, my God, you could mine 1.5 million 3 times in 20 hours. So really, I don't think she has a point or a place in this game. For me, she's a big So now I'll move on to the 2 main heroes at the start of the game. Both of them have no bonuses. Okay, so as soon as you can purchase a hero, get rid of these ones. They're absolutely useless. Sure, at the start of the game, you're going to have a hero, but they give you no bonuses. There's no point in having them. So if and when you can afford to buy a hero, definitely buy one of the other ones. So they're gone straight off the bat. The next one I will talk about, we may as well talk about this guy here, even though I have never got him in the game. Svyatogor. I'm sure some Nordic members might leave a message below and give me the correct pronunciation of this guy. But what he is good for would be for specifically building your hero. He doesn't give any benefits to you using captains. So the only time that you would use this, in my opinion, and I have seen him used, I have seen a few large players my size or slightly below that will use this hero. And the reason they're using him is solely to raise the hero's level. So it means that when you're sending him out against rare squads, or if he was attacking an epic, which one is the hero only epic? Can't think off the top of my head. I'll stick it on the screen. It'll come to me. But that's the only time that you would use him. Or if you're going to maybe attack a player and you were only going to use your hero with a load of troops, then yeah, sure, brilliant. He's going to give you plus 50% to the strength and health of your troops in battle. Just one thing to bear in mind here. This figure here, okay, this isn't on top of any other bonuses that you may have. This stacks underneath the bonuses. So this goes on your 0%, your start bonus of 0% on strength and health. So you would then start with 50%. The other ones may stack on top of it, but it isn't a massive amount in my opinion. I've seen this on other heroes that it doesn't benefit stacking on top of running bonuses. So in my opinion, again, the only time you're going to use this hero or select this hero is if you are going to specifically be trying to increase your hero's level. And there are points in that game where you will want to do it, but at the start, and certainly in my opinion up to up to the point that you need to train the next level guardsmen. So each time you want to increase a guardsman level, you get up, I think, to level 3 initially at the start of the game. Then there's a jump where your hero has to be, I think it's level 140 or 145 to get the next level troops. And then it's a little bit higher then to get the next level again. So there will be times that you will want to get your hero up in levels. And maybe that's the time to use him. So, you know, if you can afford to get him, if you have a spare $1 million gold, then by all means get him at that stage. But early on in the game, he, in my opinion, isn't worth having because he only works himself. He doesn't give bonuses to your captains. So in battle with your captains, he isn't any use. So that's my opinion on him. The next one, this guy, Yamato, he is a one-trick pony as well. The only time that you would use him, we have seen him many times in the past, during the PvP event, Kingdom versus Kingdom. This is the time that you'll see Yamato's pony riding out with him sitting on top of it. Basically what he does is he will scout a city. And if he scouts a city and wins, you do need to have a decent amount of scouts to be able to do this. If he scouts a city and wins, he will kill the hero. So the only time, again, that really this guy comes into his own is during Kingdom versus Kingdom, and if you are scouting a city with Alrick hero in it. So Alrick, as we know, gives, I'll talk about him again in a minute, but Alrick gives a slower march against his city. So if you had Alrick, and I tried to attack him, the march speed before speed ups is 4 hours. At maximum speed ups of the normal 50% speed ups, it cuts down to 7 minutes and 25 or 30 seconds. So to attack an Alrick city, obviously you have to bear that in mind. This guy, if you used him with scouts, you're only scouting the city, okay? You're not attacking it. If you scout a city with him and the person didn't realize that you had Yamato, you could obviously kill Alrick. That means then that he's dead. I think it's 20 minutes, it says it there. So he'll kill the hero for 20 minutes. So that hero cannot be revived for 20 minutes. That gives you a chance then to send a proper attack after this guy returns from that particular death. If it was a run of the 7-minute march, he gets to the city in 7 minutes. It takes him 7 minutes to return to his city. That then cuts this 20 minutes down to 13 minutes. However, if somebody else was there, you had another clan member, they could attack straight away. So Yamato is only ever going to be used during attacks on... Well, look, you could use them during Clash for the Throne if attacks are allowed in your kingdom. A lot of kingdoms nowadays try to have peace throughout, and people who want to attack have to use the water walker Ayrin, and they have to attack other kingdoms. So it is a little bit down to your city, to your kingdom and your use of him. But personally, the only time I would use him is during Kingdom versus Kingdom, and for the benefits that he gives, I think he's too slow. I think he's too much of a one-trick pony. He used to be used years ago. We used to have great fun with them. You can avoid his attacks. Just 1 point on that. If you did have Alrick and you saw an attack coming, and you will recognize Yamato's attack, a scouting attack, because he comes on a horse that's very distinguishable from all the other horses. Also, obviously, you can see the hero as he's marching, but the back of his horse is a very light color. It's kind of a light fawny color, maybe similar to this kind of color in the banner. So look, the majority of players in this game will know what he looks like on his horse, and when they see him coming, you can take your hero out of the city before he arrives. And that means that when he arrives, your hero is not there, which subsequently means that he can't kill your hero. And then your hero returns to the city, and Yamato has had a 14-minute wasted trip. So again, years ago, this was great fun. People didn't realize it. Nowadays, I think everybody knows about these heroes. Certainly anybody that you're going to be attacking to make any difference with this particular one. So again, Yamato for me is a big X. Not worth having. Next, we move on to, I'm going to break these down slightly differently because some of them are very worthwhile using and some of them aren't. We'll move on to Faron. Faron, again, is a major one-trick pony. The only thing the Faron does for you is he gives you a plus 900% bonus to delegates. Now, what that means in simple terms is you will get more points when you're voting for the king in a kingdom. So after Clash for the Throne, it's time to vote. If you were in a kingdom where maybe there had been some turmoil and somebody else was trying to capture the throne, you might see that clan all switch to the Faron hero, and by that, they pretty much will buy the election, and they will get to choose who the king is going to be. So Faron is really only ever going to be used in that case. He doesn't have any other bonuses. He only gets the bonus for extra votes. So for me, again, Faron, unless you're in a war-torn kingdom and you're trying to fight for votes and you want to try and swing the vote to the king that you want, that's the only time you would ever use him in the game. So again, for me, he has his place, but he's unimportant in the grand scheme of things. Okay, so next on to there now, I have left 7 heroes. Okay, and I'm going to touch on these from bottom to top, in my opinion. The next one I would talk about is this guy, Matemhain. What he does is he gives a plus 200% bonus to your siege engines. So your engineers, strength and health. Basically, this is your siege engines. So time to use him. I had a friend years ago when I started out this game. I don't know where he is now. I don't know if he's even still playing. But he went hell-bent on using Matemhain. And he concentrated solely on his siege engines for all forms of attack. So much so that he was actually the first person that I knew in the game to get all the way up to the Josephine 2s, which is the highest siege engine that a player can get. It's basically the E9, I suppose we'd call them, Engineers 9, as opposed to G9, Guardsmen 9, Monster 9, Specialist 9, etc. So he basically used siege engines to attack everything. And by doing that, he decided he would select this hero. And as I say, this hero, basically what he does is he gives you that 200%. Now, there is a delay, the delay for rebuilding walls. So if somebody attacks you, this is actually a good point for another video, so I won't go into it in great detail. But if somebody attacked you and destroyed your walls, normally in the game, it's 30 minutes before you can rebuild your walls. In the case of this guy, it's only 30 seconds. So it means you could rebuild your walls again if another attack was going to come in. That for me is a kind of a pointless exercise. It really doesn't matter. So the 200% strength to your engineers, your siege engines, that is helpful. You could master in siege engines only, and it means you have a very specific bonus to one type of troop that you're going to use. There's no one else in the game who's going to give you a 200% bonus without any gear. So if you wanted to, you could use him with the 200% bonus. And you could always also then use some of the armor for siege engines. For example, this armor is the godlike armor, so it's going to give my siege engines a 30% bonus in both strength and health. So you can imagine if you kitted out all of these with siege engine strength and health gear, and then also used the hero, you know, it certainly would give you a fair pack of power to attack foes. The majority of monsters in the game aren't going to have bonuses against siege engines. However, all citadels have bonuses. The centaur has bonuses against your siege engines. Elves, any of the elf squads have bonuses. The majority of elf squads have bonuses against your siege engines. So they're two monsters that you wouldn't hit on the map, because that would negate the bonus out of this. Anything you're hitting with a bonus against a certain troop, a certain monster type, you're going to try and do that against ones that don't have bonuses against yours. So he is something that's worth looking at. You could certainly help to build your hero. You're adding your captains. And while I speak of captains, you could also use him in conjunction with Bran. And Bran is one of the captains in the game, and he gives you extra strength and health to also your engineer corps, your siege engines. So, you know, if you were to level Bran up, get him up to a good level, give him stars, give him good gear, you could then, between using him and Matemhain, then you would have, you know, a double boost to your siege engine strength and health. And then maybe pair them also with one of your captains that gives you a health bonus, and a captain that gives you a strength bonus. And all in, you're going to have a very strong army, but albeit you're going to be only attacking with siege engines. Siege engines cost a lot of food to keep and use. Siege engines are expensive when it comes to building them. They are one of the most expensive things in the game, but you could still stack an army with siege engines and just attack them. I mean, some people I know use siege engines only to attack the cursed citadels, and that's quite impressive, and it works fine. You don't use any normal troops. So that's him in a nutshell. Gives bonuses of 200% to your siege engines. Worth using, worth a thought. Maybe early on in the game, he would be good to end up to just build up your general strength. So the next one I'm going to talk about, we go to Guan Yu. So this guy here is a very important hero, but he's going to be very important to you only at a certain point in the game, in my opinion. The time to use Guan Yu is when you eventually realize that your army modernization tree isn't filling up the way you need it to, that you are a long way behind getting any specialist troops. And all in all, the time to use Guan Yu is when you get to that stage. You could use him early on in the game, like I have done in my alt account. So on my alt account, I took the decision to early on start to increase my army modernization tree. And at this stage then on my alt account, I'm now up to S7, Specialist 7 troops, which is a high level given the size that my might shows. And it's a nice surprise, because when people go to attack you, I'm going to do a fair bit of damage to their troops in defense. So the other thing you can use him for is for conquest point marches. Both in clan marches is not necessary, you don't need to use them, but in a 1 versus 1 situation. So if you're a player versus player, you could use them during Clash for the Throne. Again, if your kingdom allows fighting in kingdom during the 2 days that Clash for the Throne runs. Or if you were doing CP marches 1 versus 1, i.e. player versus player. I'll leave a link to my video on player versus player marches up in the right hand corner here. You can go and have a look at that, and you can see why to use him. So you can just read here, if you and opposing player both have equal initiative in battle, you land the first blow. So basically you will always attack first when you use this hero. If somebody else has this hero as well, then it's a toss of a coin as to who gets the first shot. So that is a reason to use him. In my opinion, not something you're going to use very early on in the game. Maybe something you could consider when you're maybe hitting 10, 20 million might, 30 million might or more. That's a good time to start using him to increase your army modernization tree in Academy, or to get conquest points and put them towards your specialists. Specialists are a key point in this game. I'll talk about them again. I have spoken about them in previous videos, specifically on epics. They are important to use joined up with your guardsmen to take attacks away from the guardsmen and let them get more hits in against epic squads. But that's basically Guan Yu in a nutshell. So let's move on to the next guy. Let's just talk about the fella I have. No, in fact, I'll leave him to last. Let's just take this bit of armor off. So the next interesting one to talk about is Ayrin, the red-headed hero. Ayrin has a major benefit. Now, this hero, in my opinion, should be one of the first heroes that you buy in this game. The reason I say that is this is all about silver. This game is silver, 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 silver. If you don't have silver, you're going to struggle because you're not going to be able to make troops, you're not going to be able to attack, and you're not going to be able to do the simplest things in the game, i.e. grow your count. The use of Ayrin, what she does basically is she negates the issue of not being able to attack other kingdoms at any stage. She can water walk. She basically can go from whatever kingdom you're on to any other kingdoms nearby outside of kingdom versus kingdom event, and she can attack other players. Definitely, definitely, definitely beneficial. Two ways to use her, in my opinion, that will make it a little bit easier and make more sense. One is to use her with scouts. So instead of just sending an army blind into another city, not knowing whether there's reinforcements there or whether it's worth your while attacking, if you use scouts, again, something I'll do a video specifically on, but if you use scouts, scouts are the fastest troop in the game. There is no one else faster than a scout. So by using Ayrin in conjunction with scouts, as many as you can then scout another city literally in 30 seconds or less sometimes, depending on how close the other kingdom is to you, and you can see exactly what's in that city, which will then tell you whether it's worthwhile attacking if you see that there's a lot of resources, building resources, or silver. But silver is normally what you'll always be looking for. You see anybody with Ayrin, they're 99.9% of the time hunting for silver. So that hero, for me, is one of the top that you should take. As soon as you can get Ayrin, get her, because she will give you an extra string to your bow as regards being able to go and hunt and get silver instead of having to mine it in your kingdom or make it in other ways. So Ayrin is a big tick for me. The next one we'll talk about is, we'll talk about Thaddeus actually for a minute. So Thaddeus, again, a bit of a one-trick pony. If you have a look around other kingdoms, have a look around Arwen here, but have a look at other kingdoms where there are large clans. Now I'm talking about clans in the 30 to 40 billion upwards. You will always see a couple of players with Thaddeus. And the reason, in fact, you might see more than a couple. There's two reasons. Okay, he gives a plus 25% to leadership. Now, what that means, in a nutshell, is that you can bring more troops into battle. Two reasons that you would want that. Firstly, if you are giving CP runs, you could bring more of the attack, more of the defensive squad with you. So for example, if I was giving a CP run to another clan and without this hero I could bring 10,000 Koraks with me, for example. If I was to switch to him, that means I get an extra 25%, which means I could bring 12,500 Koraks. So that basically is what the leadership means. It means you can bring more troops into battle. The other time that you might consider using him is if you're attacking epic squads. So again, if you were only able to bring 10,000 troops to it, with his 25% leadership, means you would be able to bring another 2,500 troops. So now you're up to 12,500 troops, which means you're going to get more hits, more valor points, and die quicker. But basically, that's the bonus that he gives. So for me, again, I do have him, but I don't use him. I found another way that works better as regards those 2 points I spoke about, the CP end of things. I have another hero that really works better for that. And as regards epics, if you have a look calculator for epics, again, I'll leave the video up in the top right hand corner, you will see that by using the calculator, really it doesn't matter your leadership you can put in, but you're better off using the calculator and working it out on the captain and or hero that you're using for battles against epics. So for me, Thaddeus is okay, but he doesn't really do something major in the game unless you're at a high level, and you'll see, as I say, clan members in bigger clans, massive clans, using him from time to time. But I don't see a benefit for him, and he certainly is not worth it at the beginning of the game. So that leaves us down to 3 heroes. I'll leave mine to last. Let's just talk about Alrick because I've touched on him already. So Alrick, as you know from what I've said already, gives you a bonus to a player attacking you, the time it takes for them to get to kill you, to attack you. So without speed ups, if somebody tries to attack you and you have Alrick alive in your city or not in your city, he doesn't have to be in your city, he just has to be alive, it takes 4 hours. So when they click an attack, they'll see 4 hours. They're then going to hit that speed up, and with normal speed ups, i.e. your game generated speed ups, that's going to give them 50% speed ups, and it's going to bring the attack time down to 7 minutes and 30 seconds, I believe it is. So that 7 minutes gives you a chance to then remove all your army from your city or teleport out of the way of the attack. Or indeed, if you hadn't attacked anybody in 19 minutes, you could put a shield of peace up. So a lot of people won't attack Alrick because of that time delay. It doesn't benefit them. Alrick is a kind of an awkward one. One thing I will say about Alrick is I've seen a lot of low-level players, small players, new players to the game use him. And they know obviously about the speed up or the lack of speed against him, and that's why they use him. But any wise players in this game know to look out for Alrick heroes. If you're not a huge player, you using Alrick sometimes can be a sign that you have a lot of resources in your city, especially silver. So I have seen players from other kingdoms using Ayrin, the Water Walker, to attack cities with Alrick in them. And the reason they do that is clearly because they're looking for silver. So by you having Alrick and being unshielded, there is always a chance that you're going to draw a scout or an attack from another player because they think that you're hiding something by using this hero. Apart from that, if you have a look during any KVK event, i.e. Kingdom versus Kingdom, you will see 99.9% of players using Alrick. And the reason, as I said, is plain to see. The march speed against his city takes much longer. Now, there is one caveat to that, and that is in the game now, you can purchase, or during the Triumphal Challenge specifically, you can get prizes of a 66% speed up. Using 66% speed ups against him, if you used 5 of them, I think it brings the march time down to 1.5 minutes. I'm nearly sure it's 1.5 minutes. Maybe it's 2 minutes. Somewhere between 1.5 minutes and 2 minutes. So that's faster, obviously, than the 7 minutes. But the 66% speed ups are hard to come by. Now, you will see at higher levels, if you're in a kingdom where maybe one of the huge clans are, OST, for example, or GOD, or any of the DOD clans, You will see them from time to time, if they participate in KVK, they'll use 75% speed ups. They'll generally only do that if they're attacking a city that has hundreds of banners or thousands of banners, and they'll use 75% speed ups, and that brings the march time down to an Alrick city to just 30 seconds. So they will be, in fact, I think it's even 25 seconds, just to not work the math out. I might flash it up on screen here if I work it out exactly. So you can see that having him doesn't benefit you fully. If somebody wants to attack you, they can use a lot of speed ups, the faster speed ups that aren't game generated, and they can attack you as fast as they can against any other hero in the game. So yes, he is good fun. Yes, he's fine to have, but he is a one-trick pony, and the fact that he only gives you a very basic assistance, and that's in a player attacking you. But as I've just said, there are ways around it. So yes, he's definitely worth having if you're going to play Kingdom versus Kingdom. He is good to have for that regard, because some people don't use all of the major speed ups that you can purchase. They just use the normal ones. So yeah, Alrick is definitely worth thinking about having in the game at certain points. I would say maybe if you start to play KVK, he's worth having. In your team then. Okay, so that leaves us two heroes now to talk about. I'll talk about Haemon first. Haemon again is a good hero to have. Definitely worth using if you are in a productive clan. The reason I say a productive clan is if you're in a clan that has a fully leveled up capital and has all clan buildings and all the research done, and they are regularly putting on bonuses. This guy gives you basically, he makes all clan bonuses twice as effective. So if you're in a clan, I'll tell you where a lot of people will use this guy. A lot of people use him in their silver alts. Alt being an alternative city, a second city that a player might have. Most players in the game, full stop, now have alts, at least one, and in some cases 3, 4, maybe 5 or more. By having Haemon in your alt city, you could set your city up as a silver city. Again, I did a video I leave up on the right hand corner here about silver alt cities and how to build them and why to have them. This is the time that this fella comes into his own, because he's going to give you a clan bonus that's twice as effective. So if the silver creation clan bonus is on in your clan, you're going to make twice as much silver. Now, it's only your base bonus. This is where this twice as effective comes in. So he's useful as a silver alt hero. Most people, if you see him, there's a good chance that they're silver in the account. Sometimes people use them for the other clan bonuses, i.e. if the clan bonuses active are your strength bonus and your army strength bonus and health bonus, he then is going to make them twice as effective. So your attack in battle is going to be, your troops are going to be stronger and they're going to be healthier. Basically for resource creation, again, he's going to have a bonus with that. So he is definitely worthwhile considering. I would probably put him as the second most important captain in the game, solely because he's useful in two instances. One, just normal circumstances of you being in a clan and helping to get bonuses, double bonuses basically, or twice as effective bonuses for attacking and for RSS, resource creation. He is really useful to have. And obviously then in an alt, if you're using him as in a silver alt, he's 100% useful to have. He's going to double up your silver creation. So that's him in a nutshell. And now down to the last guy in the game, Meriones or Meriones. For me now, I have only recently started to use him. So the reason I got Meriones or Meriones, depending on how you pronounce his name, is he increases the stats with a full set of battle equipment by 1.5 times. Now, what that means in reality is if I attack something and I have a full set of equipment, in this case, the Skybreaker gear, I will have 1.5 times strength and health of my units while in battle. Again, that is the base figure, so you're 1.5 times before any bonuses are added on top. But I have noticed a big difference in the health of my flying units when I'm doing CP runs. So that being said, it does work in battle. If somebody was to attack me, and again, I had a full set of gear on, whether it be this particular gear, or if I had the guardsman's courage gear on, again, I will have that 1.5 times better health and strength. So that's why I use him. Is he worth using in the game over some of the other captains? I suppose for me it's probably a toss-up between him and Haemon if your clan bonuses are always active. After that, if I was starting the game out again, I probably would use Matemhain because of the 200%. Like he definitely gives the best bonus for attacking in this game. So if you're starting out and you can get your siege engines up and running fairly quickly, this will undoubtedly help you build your heroes level alongside any captains that you may bring with him into battle. But just be careful that you don't build your hero too high too quickly. Later, there is a point in the game where you want to start building your hero. In my opinion, it's when you start getting closer to needing Guardsman G8. That point, you would want to start pushing your hero. Up to that point, you want to really more push towards your captains. And the captains are as important in this game, if not more important, in your early stages as you build your account and grow it. So guys, that has been a fairly in-depth video about the heroes in the game, what benefits they give you, their pluses and minuses, my suggestion as to the ones not to bother getting. But look, you can by all means pop in some comments below if you disagree with me. Hey, everybody has a different play style. Everybody likes to play the game a different way and more tactically, etc., etc. Some people are happy to just do a lot of farming, and some people are happier to do lots of attacking. So leave the comments below. I'm more than happy to hear them, hear your opinion on these. If you notice something I missed about any of the heroes in this video, please leave a comment below. I'll be delighted to hear it and we can discuss in more detail. So that's the end of this video. Guys and girls, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe and hit that bell icon. The more views and more subscribers I get to the channel, the more it helps me to put out good content. The next video I'm going to do will be on the back of this one, and it will be all about the different captains in the game, the benefits of using certain ones, specific captains that you really want to concentrate on, and the points for why you would want to concentrate on them. Yeah, so that's been it. That's the end of this video. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you on the other ones. See you on the other side. Curve, peace out.